All right, so this is a review of the Infinity Seat. Most people that have gotten it from Kickstarter, and I hadn't really noticed a review out on YouTube yet, so I thought I would go through some of my feelings about it. So let's look at the overall dimensions first. It comes in right about 10 5/8 long, and comes in at about 6.5 inches wide, and the openings are roughly about 2 inches in its widest point between the inside dimensions. If we look at the weight scale, turn this on, we'll measure it in grams as most people do in cycling. Got to zero it out, and I think they claim about 220 grams, I think. So this one's coming in a little bit under. I have two seats, and I haven't measured the weight of the other one, so I'm not sure. I used a caliper, and we were measuring the thickness of how thick the plastic is going around. It stays pretty consistent, right about 3 millimeters. So pretty consistent there. Another thing is the edges, both the inside and outside, I don't know how well you can see this, is kind of beveled down a little bit. See it right there. You can see it on the inside as well. Kind of beveled down a little bit. Doesn't stay as sharp. Some of the Kickstarter pledges complained about how sharp it can get right on the inside, and that is the case, but I think it's more the case that there isn't any padding on this, this is I believe the Go, or the Go Plus. And so the reason for the shape is obviously in order for your sit bones to sit right here. This is my my skeleton that I used in medical school, and so these are your ischial tubers right here, and what it's supposed to do is it's supposed to be relieving pressure as you sit down. Those will fit right there. This works out great if this is where your ischial tubers sit. Unfortunately, for some people, they might come all the way out to the edges, and that's going to be a big problem. And since we've cut out a lot of surface area here, we increase the pressure. Pressure is force over the area of distribution, and so we actually can get some really pretty bad pressure points. For me, it's actually right here. It hurts pretty bad. For my wife, hers actually fits a lot better than mine, but she is actually also getting some hot spots. What's nice for me in the perineal area right here, it actually provides a little bit of relief here. Unfortunately, the pain of my ischial tubers that hit right about right here is quite a bit. So depending on your body type, if you want me to say that this saddle is going to be horrible or going to be amazing, it's going to depend on your body type. I was really concerned about this little tongue right here. It actually kind of pushes down just fine, and you don't even notice it. For me, however, it's sitting right over your bum. And so some people might find this kind of interesting. I don't know why it's even here, honestly. I don't know why they have that, but it's there, and it's very, very interesting. A few other things you might notice is that the rails actually have quite a bit of elevation on them, and they're pretty long, longer than some of the other rails. From that point to that point, it allows you to slide up and down as you're mounting it on your bike. The nose is really long as you're riding in a normal position, not in an aero position or anything like that. It's going to stick out pretty far. And if you notice, your last structure point is right here, and so you have about 1 inch where you don't necessarily need it if someone wanted to kind of cut that off with a Dremel or something like that, they could easily do that. Another thing that me and my wife both noticed is as we're sitting, as you change positions as you're riding from kind of more relaxed to more aero position, your ischial tubers are going to come up as you get into the more aero position, or your sit bones, where they're going to ride down. So they could be hitting right there, or they might be hitting up there, and you kind of have to get it just right, and that can change with the angle of the seat as you're doing it and as you're adjusting it as you're riding. So it's really just going to depend. Let's see. It does provide a little bit of flex. If I can put this right here for a second. These rails, I don't know if you can see that, they do flex a little bit. And same right here. And so that kind of does conform to your body a little bit. Back here, these don't really flex at all, and of course there's no flex up here because that's right where the rails meet up. And then the last thing I wanted to show you guys is what it looks like on bikes. It's on my wife's commuter bike. She has it all the way up, or I guess all the way back. And you can see a lot of room right there. And I'll just kind of get a few close-up shots right here. All right, so with padded shorts are going to help a little bit. I would highly recommend, if you're thinking about getting this, if you can possibly try it out before you buy it, that would be great. Unfortunately for me, it's too uncomfortable for me. However, depending on the body type, it's going to be, perfect fit. It's all going to just depend. It's like any saddle out there. You need to try a bunch of them out before you decide which one is right for you. But if you can get a version where you can get some padding, go for it. I thought about building some sort of neoprene padding or having someone do it for me or something, and that might work, but the structure of it just hitting my ischial tubers right there is just too painful for me, so it wasn't going to work for me. Good luck on finding a good saddle, and yeah.